Thinking about being a sports writer, sports journalist, sports analyst, commentator, all of the above in sports media? Here's 5 things you need to know before you get into the business. Before I start, I'm gonna just list off what I've done. I'm currently a college and high school sports reporter. I have traveled different states for this. I have been a producer for TV stations. I've written feature stories, gamers, been to the pros, been to the colleges, the high schools, all of the above, everything you could think of. And here are the things that I've accumulated with my knowledge through my experience that I'm going to share to you. Number 1, low pay. Yes. The trade-off with sports is you like the job, but it's very competitive. Therefore, a lot of companies can get a young guy to do what you want to do for little to no pay starting out. Now, when I started, it was about $30,000 when I got my first job after freelancing for about $75, $50 per story. And then eventually you get more as the years go by, as you get new jobs. But to start out, yes, it's low pay. And before you get discouraged, I'm going to say, as time goes by, as you get more experience, job opportunities do come by. It's not a whole plethora of opportunities, but they do come by. You do get paid more as experience come by and you become more valuable. So if you stick with it, it can pay off. That brings me to my second point, though. Job security. A lot of people want the job. And there are layoffs. I know you hear about ESPN, you hear about Fox Sports, you hear about just the economy in general, not just sports media, but it's a real thing. Sports goes up and down despite the NBA, despite the NFL, the MLB getting more popular. When it comes to media, it's up and down, it fluctuates, it's forever changing. So you got to change with it or else you could be left in the dust. But job security is one of them. Number 3 is social life. That's not to say you don't have one. When we talk about friends, dating, family, just in general, you still have one, but you got to think it's odd hours. While everyone else is on vacation or everyone else wants to go to a game, that's when you're working. And you work throughout the week, and sometimes you're on the road, different arenas, and then the weekend comes and you probably want to stay home, or you probably want to watch more sports, or you probably want to go out. But it doesn't always match up with the friends, the family. Sometimes you got to miss some big days, some weddings, some birthdays, parties, celebrations. Comes with the life, comes with the territory. Number 4, and this is a big one, at least for me, it's comparing. Yes. If you want to be in the sports media, you got to learn to not compare. Now, we're all human, it happens, but you got to try your best, because if you're a minority, if you're black, if you're a woman, any person of color, it's going to be hard. You got to think. Some people have connections. Some people are really good at networking. Some people pick the right internship. Some people pick the right college, and that's credit to them, and they all worked hard. That's not to say they didn't work hard and get where they had to go. But then if you look at yourself and you had to do this, you had to move to different jobs, you had to freelance, you had to work different spots and do a lot of things just to get where you're at, and you see someone who you might think has a better life because you might see them on TV or they might be covering this team. It's not always what it seems. And I can tell you that firsthand, how many stories I've heard of someone at these big games, at these championship games, the finals, the Super Bowl, the Final Four, all of those big spots, but it might be a freelance position. It might be part-time. They might be working 3 jobs that's not in sports media in order to keep the bills paid. Try not to compare, because you never know, especially in sports media. Be grateful for what you got. Be grateful for where you are in your process, small or big. Do not take it for granted. That's what I've learned personally. And 5, last but not least, burnout. It's a combination of all the things I just mentioned before. You can get burnout with the long nights, on the road, different arenas, different games, social life, job security, pay. It can be a real burnout, especially throughout the course of a season, depending on the beat and what you're covering. But obviously, the trade-offs is you like your job. I enjoy it every day. There hasn't been a day where I was like, I don't want to be here. It just hasn't. So 5 is burnout. It's real. Got to check on your mental health and physical health. Try to eat healthy. Try to exercise when you can. Talk to your friends and family, your loved ones. That's very important. Those are top 5 things. Now, if you like what you saw in this video, please subscribe, please like, please comment. Tell me what more do you want to know. Till next time, peace.